Hi, this is Sonia Jorgensen introducing a complete Pathfinder for a research project on the Lewis and Clark expedition for LMIS 680 using information resources. This project is intended for 5th grade students to complete during a North Dakota Studies unit as Lewis and Clark passed through the area that would be North Dakota. The tool that I chose to use is Padlet. I have never used it before as a creator, but I do have experience with it as a user for various teacher trainings that I have had. I found it to be a great way to organize information so that it is easily accessible, and I noticed it doesn't take a lot of searching around to find what I am looking for. If it is well laid out, labeled, and organized, it just takes one click to get to the desired information. Padlet is a very user-friendly tool. As a creator, there are directions for every step to create it. I would definitely use it again. And the first 3 Padlets are free, and with a paid subscription after that, if you'd like to create more. It would definitely be worth it. If this was something that I was going to do more, I absolutely would use Padlet again. I don't think there were any disadvantages to it. I think all the information will be really accessible for the kids. I think they will have an easy time finding what they need. I did not collaborate with any other educators for this Pathfinder, as I will be using it personally next year with my own students. I teach in a multi-grade classroom that next year will include 1 student in each 4th, 5th, and 8th grades and 2 students in the 6th grade. North Dakota Studies is usually taught in the 4th grade, but I wanted to wait until my youngest one would be ready for it, and we could all do it together rather than having to teach to 1 student each year. I would gladly share this Padlet with the North Dakota Studies teacher in my district. I think she would find it to be quite a valuable resource. So let's take a little tour of this Padlet, of the Pathfinder. I started out by giving it a title up here and description. The students will be receiving a handout of specific requirements and a rubric that I have not made yet, but this description tells them just what we're going to be doing, how to navigate the Padlet, and how to get started. So on the far left, they will see the Read First column. This column will give search term hints, as you can see here. Call numbers under the Dewey Decimal System. And, of course, a reminder about ethical use of information. We will have gone over citing our work earlier in the year, so they will know just what to do. The next column refers to Lewis and Clark online resources for them specifically, and this also has links within each of these resources to other important people that were included in the expedition as well. These are all reputable websites: Britannica, Kids National Geographic, History.com, an organization that's dedicated to Lewis and Clark themselves, morehistory.com, and of course North Dakota tourism, since Lewis and Clark passed through this area. There are maps included on the sites. As I said, gives links that will lead to other websites that will give even more to other people that played a part in their expedition. Little videos sometimes are embedded within each of these sites as well. The next column is another major player who I wanted to put a separate column just for her, because the Lewis and Clark expedition would not have been a success without her. A lot of women's sites for her, Britannica again, and Kids National Geographic. Great websites that the kids will get lots of information. The 4th column is dedicated to print resources that can be found in our school library. I didn't list all of the books that were available, but if they have found these, they should have no problem finding other ones on the shelves next to it. I also included a link to the library's online card catalog down at the bottom, which will give them access to print materials that might not be available at our school site, but they can be borrowed from other schools and libraries. If we type in, we'll be able to see what's available at Maple Valley. A lot of those I listed on the Padlet, not all of them, because some of them are fiction. If we want some that perhaps are not available at our library, we can click on all Odin libraries and it will give us anything that's available in the system, and they can place a request and get it from a different library. Lots of choices. So if we keep going, the fifth column here has links that will direct students to primary resources, such as maps, actual documents that have been scanned that are on the National Archives website, and personal journal entries from this one. Gives journal entries of different people that were involved in the expedition. The next column, I included a 30-minute video from pbs.org. It is History in a Nutshell. I have watched and shown History in a Nutshell videos with my students before, and they're very well done, full of great information, and presented in a very memorable way for the students. They're very enjoyable to watch, very age appropriate. The last resource link that I included can also be found on our school library website, but it is more convenient just to include it here rather than having the students have to go search for it. This is where they can also use those search terms from the first column. This is the North Dakota State databases. All the students just have to, if they're offsite, enter their school login information. If they are at the school, then I do believe they can just click on it and it gets them right to it. I also included a rate feature on each of the links. The students can rate each of these sites 1 to 5 stars, which will let me know and the other students know if they found that site to be useful. If a link is broken, we can get rid of it. If they find that really it's not all it was cracked up to be, I can also just get rid of it, take it off the Padlet. So I do hope that students will find this to be a helpful tool for them to complete their research project. I have never made a Pathfinder before, nor have I used one such as this, like on a Padlet. I have been given links to get me started on my way before on Pathfinders, but never one like this. As a student, I think I would find it very helpful. Sometimes I have a hard time organizing information and can feel overwhelmed when presented with too much at once, but I think this format will be really beneficial for the students. I hope that my students think so too. I found completing this Pathfinder to be very valuable as I learned how to use a new educational tool, and I have a project pretty much ready to go for next year already. So, thank you.